Nicolas Lewis. I'm an ornamental horticulture major studying at A&M Commerce right now. I'm currently employed at Callaway's Nursery, working there as a phone odor specialist right now and a customer service representative. In the future, I hope to actually be able to design parks and like people's front lawns maybe and stuff like that, or backyards. Just doing any small contracting project that I can really get my hands on. I originally started as a wildlife and conservation science major, but I started learning because I took a botany class through that, and after that I was like, plants are my thing. So I actually own about 50 or more plants, and that's not counting the seedlings I'm starting. So I got my first plant, first set of 3 plants about 4 years ago. Ever since I was a kid, I was in Cub Scouts, going hiking, going outdoors, being in nature was a huge part of it. And particularly as a kid, I remember really liking just the looks of trees. And I'm not quite sure why, I still like it to this day, but trees, they're just very interesting in how they function. So I think the most interesting thing I've learned in my class is that all plants, they actually follow a logarithmic spiral. If I were to pick something off the shelf like this golden barrel, it's a little hard to see, but if you follow a diagonal line of all these spikes, you'll see it starts to kind of follow a curve, and that curve gets sharper and sharper until it hits the center here, and it starts wrapping into a spiral right there. I just think that's super cool commonality between all plants and super weird. So soil types have a huge role in how a plant actually develops and grows. There's 3 different materials that go into all soils that we know, which is silt, sand, and clay. So some of the most common plants in the plant kingdom are going to be your monocots and dicots. And what makes monocots special is that if you've ever planted a grass seed, you'll see that it shoots out one little piece of grass at the start. That's why it's a mono, because it's one leaf that comes out. As for your dicots, what makes these ones different from monocots is when the seed first sprouts, 2 leaves come out. And with dicots, they have what's called a webbed leaf venation. So what I would recommend to any new gardeners is just do your research over your plants. The more side tips are going to be deep soaks over small soaks. So when you're watering your plant, you're going to want to give it a ton of water at a time and then let that dry completely out. Another thing is repotting your plants. If they ever get too big, they'll start what's called girdling their root. If that's happening, you need to get those roots spread back out again, because what will happen is even if you repot it, it's not going to spread outwards. It's just going to keep girdling, and it will never actually go out, and this can actually suffocate the roots. So in the end, I'm very passionate about plants, and I hope to spread that compassion with others. If you have plants at home, just make sure you keep experimenting with them, because all plants are experiments, and just have fun.